Hello everyone and welcome to our main story quest line here at Agro Games. It's Final Fantasy card game night. My name's Mick. I'm your host for tonight. We're watching the match here between Ryan and Marco. Oh, I got the names upside down. Okay, so Ryan is on the left and Marco is on Marco is on the left and Ryan here is on the right. Yeah, making changes on the fly because we are live. This is not a pre-recording. This is not like some like I'm gonna record and then replay and stuff like that. No, this is live. People are having fun here at Grailga Games, 83 Club Street. If you ever find yourself, if you're a Final Fantasy player and you ever find yourself, wanting to play some Final Fantasy, just come on down on Friday nights. That's when we have our weekly tournaments. And on top of that, it's also an XP tournament. It's part of the what's that? The Singapore Invitationals, the Nationals, they call it. Yeah. Hey Joe, come on, grab a mic.
Hey, but I don't know what's going on in this game.
It's
anymore,
okay.
man.
All you have to do is type into MockNet,
Yes, boss.
and then bring up the cards as and when I say.
Yes, boss.
All right.
Where's the search?
Yeah. What's the search? Oh no. Right in the top corner. Top right hand corner. Yeah, okay, so Marco here. Wow, Kefka and starts off with a monk. I'm guessing Marco is playing Gobez Love. Heart, Gobez Heart. Oh, I like Gobez a lot. Like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I lock it long time.
Yeah, just click on the six cost Gobez. Okay, so cool feature here. Let's bring up the card feature. Gobez. Gobez. Oh, xiao. Six crystal points. When Gobez is put from the field into the break zone, you may search for up to 4 forwards of cost 2, each of different element, and play them onto the field. Their auto abilities will not trigger. So, stuff like Rigdea can trigger. Things like, what are the 2 costs are there? Gadot does not trigger. Jackie Ang, hello. Daryl says there, faith in Marco. Isn't Daryl here? Oh, no, Daryl's not here. 100 on Marco not playing Gobez. Okay, so maybe Marco is not playing Gobez. Oh no, something's gone wrong with the camera.
Oh,
It looks like.
shit.
Okay, I think.
Technical heart.
Yeah, technical difficulties. Okay, so I'm going to do something very drastic. Joe, keep them entertained.
La 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 la. Apologies for the technical difficulties. We've been experimenting with a new system, so there's still a bit of kinks for us to work out. Just give us a bit of time. Mick is working his magic on the computer. So Mick, I hear that there are going to be monsters in the next set.
Monsters. Whoa, scary.
I'm scared of monster mine.
Scared of monsters? Okay. Alright, okay, we're back.
Again. But I hear that it's essentially the parallel to Magic the Gathering is artifacts.
Enchantments.
Enchantments.
Yeah.
I see.
Artifacts like the backups are like mana rocks, and then monsters are like enchantments. If you do play Magic the Gathering, it's really similar. It feels similar. So
Yeah, but I think that well, the thing that attracted me to, I honestly I don't have time to play anything. So
oh yeah.
the thing that, well, except for World of Warcraft, I suppose. But the thing that attracted me to FF is that I think strategically, the fundamental strategy is different from Magic, which is it's like a different like experience altogether. I mean, like the tempo and some of the like fundamental theories that we come to accept from Magic the Gathering, which is really the source of a lot of card games, and it's mirrored in a lot of card games, is not really present, or it is turned around in FF. So I'm sorry again, the camera is frozen. Mick is again on his hands and knees trying to solve the problem. And
I'll be right back.
and Mick is now going to
Joe,
rush
keep
out.
talking and nobody dies.
I keep talking, nobody dies. Save the stream, save the world. Running commentary on Mick trying to solve the problem. So yeah, just stay tuned. Mick is gonna try and solve the problem, and then hopefully we can get some games of FF back on the stream. In the meantime, maybe those who are watching can like put on the stream what are the cards that they are most excited about from the next opus that's going to be released. I believe tomorrow. Pre-release is tomorrow, right?
Yeah, pre-release is tomorrow.
But release is going to be next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's the stuff. Man,
tell
you
us
for-
what excites you. In
For
the
a
next
guy who
opus.
doesn't play too much, you know a lot about what's happening in Final Fantasy scene. Don't lie, Joe. You secretly, you just want to play.
No, I hear the updates from Mark whenever he briefs me about what's happening in the next week. So that's good to. Yeah, I mean,
It's good to stay
seems like-
abreast.
yeah. I think it's just
Abreast.
it's a game that we hope will pick up steam, you know, and I think there's a quite an avid following. So now it's just to get more people involved, which is the reason why we're doing the stream, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, for those of you who, you know, if you're confused why we have a stream, it's mainly because we like to rewatch it, or at least players will rewatch whatever they're doing, and you know, they learn from their plays. They understand like how it works and all.
Oh, here we go, Shantoto.
Shantoto gets
Blows
rid
up
of
the
everything. Yeah,
world.
let's bring up Shantoto. No, there was I think we had it just now.
One more, I think. There we go.
Shantoto, yeah, okay. So, for those of you who don't know the game, Shantoto enters the battlefield. It costs 7 and she's just a backup. But if she's on the field, it gains elements of fire, ice, wind, lightning, and water. And there'll be disco music that plays in the background.
Awesome. We should alter Shantoto to have some disco music, disco lights and stuff like that. No, but yeah. So that's something that
That's-
you see fundamentally very different in this game. That you know you can cast a high cost card very early because you sacrifice like resources in your hand.
Yeah.
In place of like the resource like the mana for those people who play Magic.
Wow, Scarmelion here with the shout causing Ryan to discard his hand. Ryan's playing a very aggressive deck. It's the fire ice deck that he's been.
The irony of this, right, is that this is the first deck that I lent to Ryan when he first started playing FF. I
And-
built this deck because I saw it online, and then he played it. And I think he liked it because you know it fits his style. I know Ryan is a player for many years.
Who needs backups, right?
Yeah, man, just punch his face.
just punch the face. Yeah, exactly.
to the
Right.
face.
Who needs backups? Backups are useless. Right. Anybody in the chat, let us know. Backups useless, right? Backups are lousy.
No, man, I love
Backups
backups.
are backups.
You know
are a
my deck,
piece
the
of
deck
shit.
that I played, you know, like,
Oh,
but
man.
of course it hasn't been tuned in like one opus.
No, it hasn't been tuned for so long, right?
That is actually
it's
relevant
actually
again.
good
Yeah,
again.
There we go.
you
There we
know,
go.
full cycle.
That was my plan all along. Like, you know, okay, I mean, like, just to bring some magic back into the stream, right? I was playing a game of Modern with Ben, right? I was
Mhm.
playing, he built Grixis Death Shadow, and so I was playing my old collector company deck. And actually, it does surprisingly well against Grixis Death Shadow.
So
'Cause it
it's
attacks
like-
it from a lot of angles, you know? So yeah, okay. Back to FF though. Back to FF.
Yeah, so you know, it goes one full circle. Let's bring up what Ryan just played, the Zidane.
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
bought like one starter deck from Opus 3 just to get
Just
Zidane.
for the Zidane, right? Search.
Or
Search up.
Zidane.
Zidane.
Oh,
Zidane.
Well, if you watch any kind of football, it's
Yeah, it's Zidane. You know, it's Zidane. Zinedine Zidane.
Zidane, man.
Zidane.
Zidane.
Oh yeah, man, he's Italian,
You
right?
say
So it's
potato.
Zidane.
He's French, man.
Oh, it's French, yeah.
You say potato, I say potato.
No man, Zidane. It's like simultaneously, it's Zidane.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Maybe the chat can tell us which one's which.
Hey man, it's
But
my
I-
favorite player, man. It's like,
Yeah, but I watched the 98 World Cup. I believe that it's Zidane. But you know.
fine. France.
Alright,
Vive la France.
different people have different pronunciation, I suppose.
Okay, so you know, Ryan here just played Zidane and Zidane.
Zidane
Zidane is forward, a light forward. If you control a category 9 forward, you the cost for playing Zidane onto the field is reduced by 1, which is great because all you have to do is just give up 1 card or just tap two backups. And then when he enters the battlefield, so this is where Zidane is fantastic because it gives you the option to either draw a card, or your opponent discards a card, or you activate all category 9 characters you control. For those of you who are not familiar, characters are basically all the permanents that you have on the battlefield, you know, or on the field, as they say.
Huh.
And it's not the battlefield. So it
Well,
untaps, like, if
let-
you
let's
play the
do a-
9 deck,
If
you play
with
that,
Steiners but I think like there are a lot of good 9 backups. At least that's what I remember from my deck.
oh man, there's a lot. There's Artemision. There's who else? Oh, Aiko. There's Mog.
Mog, yeah. So I the deck that I play, the Wind Water one, plays both Aiko and Mog, and I think that's the reason because there's a concept of like just untapping, a lot of like tempo and control plays.
Yep.
But okay, let's do a rules clarification because Zidane is a light character, right? So you can pay for it with any color card.
Yes, with any colored mana or any colored crystals.
Any colored crystals.
But you cannot discard any light or dark
to pay for
crystals.
Right. Okay, so that's where it's offset a bit. But a little bit of history about Zidane. The reason why I bought the Opus 3 starter is because I think that the Japanese Nationals was played just after Opus 3 was released, and almost all the decks, regardless of what, were playing 3 copies of Zidane.
Oh yeah.
And I mean,
he's such a powerful card.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's very in line with a Japanese style of play.
Yeah. It's just give me options and make sure that if I'm ahead, maybe make sure that my opponent stays behind. If I'm behind, draw the extra card to try to get back into the game. Or just value that value play where you activate all category 9 characters you control. So it's a great play. Zidane is just a overall very good card.
It's just value play, right?
Yeah,
it's like the equivalent of like
value.
Very, very long time ago, Magic Gathering was Flame Town Kabu. Basically, you just get value when you play it. Or
4 mana for 4/2 and then kill a creature.
Or like Jace the Mind Sculptor, which I mean, like that's probably not a good like mirror, but Jace was essentially you play Jace, you basically gain a card, or at least you earn back the card that it costs to play Zidane.
Yeah.
Especially if you're using backups, right? If you're using backups to pay the cost.
Wow, it's free.
It's card neutral, it's free. Yeah, so it's really good.
Okay, so Marco here going on the offensive. Also playing, looks like Marco is playing a very aggressive deck, like the Earth. I haven't seen this. Well, okay, so I have seen this combination before, Earth and Ice.
Yeah.
But I was guessing, Earth and Ice is usually a very slow. Very slow and grindy deck. Like
it doesn't really like give you the impression of aggro, right?
Yeah,
because it doesn't really have that many aggro plays.
Yeah, but Marco here, proving us wrong. He's playing Shulk, he's playing Jipao just to pump up his board. Overall, great character. Genesis, maybe let's bring up Genesis. So powerful, this guy. It's so difficult to find nowadays.
This one?
Yeah, Genesis. Also French. When Genesis enters the field, choose one forward opponent controls. Dull it and freeze it, full stop. He's Shiva. He's basically a Shiva on a stick.
Wow, he's really good, man.
And when he deals damage to your opponent discards 1 card from his or her hand. So if your opponent just doesn't have a follow-up play after you land a Genesis, and even if they do have a follow-up play after he lands Genesis, it's possible you just get in. Get your opponent lower on cards. And cards in this game, by the way, is resource. And resource is so important. Like if you don't have cards in your hand, you just can't cast stuff. Or you don't have, you just don't have power, or you don't have gas.
And I mean, like the trade-off isn't that big, right? Because like conventional 4-costed creatures or 4-costed forwards have
it's about 8,000. Yeah,
8,000 power. So you're not losing that much, it's not like a 6,000 or something. So it seems pretty good, seems like a fairly good
It's a fairly good card, yeah, exactly.
I need to stop saying magic terms, right? Forward. Not
it's a creature.
Forward.
Hi Leon, welcome to the stream. Sa Hashimi is saying watching live and alive. Hello.
Isn't he playing?
Yeah, I know. I thought, yeah. Isn't Hashmi on the same? I'm guessing Hashmi can't hear us, right?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe he's sitting right next to. He's like sitting right next to Marco and like showing him his phone. Yeah. Hey Marco, this is you, and you can see Ryan's hand. It's like, oh, okay.
It's a good thing we don't have hand cams, but I mean, like you get to see a little bit of what's going on
there. So Ryan here, well, man, he just froze the Scarmeleon. Marco in no danger of dying just yet. But he's going to untap with 3 creatures, and Ryan's going to be in a little bit of a pickle here.
Untap with 2, right? Because one is frozen.
No, there's a Genesis. Under the Jipal, there's a Genesis.
Oh, but okay, Snow is gonna freeze one guy, right?
Yeah. I think at this point he's going to freeze one guy. I think Ryan did play a Shiva the previous turn. So Snow is a very underused character nowadays, but it's still very powerful.
There we go, Snow.
When Snow attacks, choose one forward and opponent controls Dalit. And if you cast the card named Shiva, this turn freeze it
as
also.
well, yeah.
And right now we have 3 versions of Shiva. One of them just deals damage. One of them is a EX burst, 3 mana. You dull and freeze a character. And the one that's a real killer, that's the Opus 3 Shiva. And for 2 crystal points.
Is it this guy?
No, Shiva.
Oh, Shiva, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for 2 crystal points, right, you deal. That's the one. The
Nice
colorful
art.
one. Man, I love
Nice
the
art.
foil. I think 2 foils of this. It's like it's awesome art. Although it's all just like
Oh, this
computer
is really
generated,
good.
This thing, yeah. Choose up to 2 forwards and dull it. That's it. This is a finisher. This is like, okay, I'm just
Right,
gonna
right,
tap down
right.
your entire team and now you die.
Oh, it's interesting that Ryan doesn't play Genesis, right? Because Genesis would seem to be really good in his deck.
I think he does.
Oh, okay,
Should be
okay.
playing like 2 copies of it. Because Genesis, like we mentioned before, is another Shiva. And
Right.
what you would love in your deck is probably 12 copies of Shiva.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect. You have Joe Nabat, which is half a Shiva
The backup that Ryan currently has on the
on
table.
the field. Yeah. And he's probably gonna fire off.
Hi to
Zodiac,
Robert
and that's it.
Ryan from the Philippines. Wow, awesome.
Hi, Robert Ryan.
Ryan scoops it up. I think that's game.
Scoopity doop, and Marco gets it. Yeah, awesome. sauce.
Agro, Bitface.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
But I mean, the Shan Toto was pretty devastating.
yeah,
I think.
that was,
like-
Ryan had like four
And
forwards. on
I
the
honestly
battlefield.
think that's the very interesting thing about the game, because while Shan Toto isn't like, this was a parallel game, right? If you cast a board sweeper, you don't really do anything to develop, right? It's like you cast a spell and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Casting Shan Toto actually gets you mana the next turn, so
Yeah.
it develops your board position. At the same
At the
time,
same
it
time,
removes your opponent's board position.
It's like an old stone that never goes away.
Right, and I mean, like, Ryan just couldn't recover because he went all in on all of his forwards.
Yeah,
and
he
the
was
moment
he was down
loses-
to like 1 card or
Right.
something at that
Then
point.
the only backup that he had in play was Jun Nahat. So, I mean, like, there's nothing much you can do from
Yeah.
there, right? He's basically stuck. So yeah, you have
you're
to be
stuck.
very cautious about overcommitting in this game.
And yeah, Marco, I mean, like, Marco knew what the play was, so he
Right,
was
right,
like
right,
trading
yeah.
off his shell, he was
Right,
trading
right,
off
right.
all his creatures. Like, I know I'm not going to take damage, and that should have been, it doesn't
kind of
matter
a
whether
signal.
Ryan, it doesn't matter whether Ryan knew what was happening.
Yeah, he had to play
like,
into it. I think that's the problem. It seems like
Yeah.
a bad matchup for Ryan because, like, you have to overcommit to the board to try and fight through.
Yeah.
Like, if this is the typical control-ish kind of deck
Mhm.
where, he's relying on, like, summons and stuff like that to gum down the board before he plays big creatures, then, like, the aggro plan potentially can put him off a bit by just over-tempoing him. But,
Yeah.
in a situation where you have to fight through creatures and then you have
And
to worry
then
about a
there's-
Shanto,
yeah.
that seems really rough.
Okay, we've got 11 minutes left to the round. I'm going to put on a replay of last week's tournament where the camera was working fine all the way. Seems our new setup maybe not that good after all. Looks
No,
like
but I
we're
mean,
testing. we'll test it. We'll
Yeah,
we'll keep
that's
going
what I
at
told
it,
the
yeah.
stream. Everybody in the stream is going to give you some time to figure it out because,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Ting Xiang.
once again, we apologize for, like, the technical difficulties. But yeah, we are just trying out a new setup. We're trying a new system.
Ting Xiang,
Um,
what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to have? Hey, you going to advertise it? Huh? Anyway, yeah, for those of you who don't know, this weekend is pre-release. So I think Ting Xiang's having the first shot at pre-release at Agora.
Oh, okay. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
So hats off to you.
Wherever you play, just try and play the game, guys.
Yeah.
It's a really fun game. I wish I had more time for it.
Sell
I
me your
just don't.
clouds.
But
Sell me
yeah,
your
if
clouds.
I had, please
I
buy
want
my
your-
clouds, man.
I want my cloud promos. Please sell me your
I don't
cloud
think I have
promos.
the promos, but
I want the promos.
the
Give me your promos. Okay, we're
Okay,
gonna
man.
take
When
that
I
off
stopped
for a
playing, there were no promos. After I built my deck, there was still no support.
while. All right, we're
Oh.
going to go for a short break, so don't go away. We'll be right back.